The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
The following program contains opinions expressed by the Dead Zone. If you find this broadcast offensive, lighten up, candy ass.
What?
Oh my gosh.
It's a radio show.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Initialize sequence now.
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. Control is good. 5, roger copy. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Dead Zone WDZRDB Worldwide. Welcome to the Dead Zone Paranormal Radio Show.
Dead Zone Paranormal Radio Show, June 21st, 2020. Hope you guys are doing okay with all this silly we have going on. We'll get through it, don't you worry. Tonight we're going to have Lon Strickler. He's an author. He's also the host of Arcane Radio. And we're going to have Michelle and my son Brandon call in. They've had experiences, as have I, and they pertain to the book. So hang on, and we'll be right back.
This is Rick McCullum of the Hollywood Ghost Hunters, and you're listening to The Dead Zone.
Dead Zone WDZRDB Worldwide.
Okay, and now back to business.
If all radio stations in town were palm trees, we'd be the one with the biggest coconuts.
Now,
Here are the one, the only
Dead Zone.
Hey, that was Lord, our new house band. That track was entitled "A World Insane." That's kind of fitting, right? Don't you think so? About around this time, yeah, I do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. But on the phone right now, we have Lon Strickler. He's also a radio show host on the Arcane Radio, and that's on the what network is that? I'm sorry.
On Paranormal King.
Paranormal King Radio. Okay, there was another thing, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, I've been around.
Yeah.
We've been on several networks over the years.
Right, it was like Podbean or something like that.
Well, I'm on that yet. That's the actual podcast itself, but I do a live show.
You do a live show as well, okay, and that can be found at arcaneradio.podbean.com. And you also have a website, phantomsandmonsters.com, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. And people that have experiences can call you and report them in, or let you know what's going on. And what do? Do you go check them out, or you just post them?
No, we've got a 14, the Phantoms and Monsters 14 research team.
Uh-huh.
We've got 19 members nationwide or North America, and we do get a report where I do have somebody there,
right,
or in the area, who
right,
will send them out to investigate.
Right. Now, that's kind of like what I used to be a part of. I guess I still am, but we get very few reports. TriStateBigfoot.com. I mean, right, they would call us if there was something in the area and send us out. Yeah. So that's kind of like that, right?
Well, yeah. And also we also have affiliate groups all over the country who, will get a report from us directly.
Right.
If we don't have anybody in the team that's able to go to the location.
Right.
So if I have an affiliate who's able to go there or is near the location, I can send it to them and let them take care of that as well. Right. And I definitely need somebody in Indiana.
You do? Well,
there you go.
We might be here for you then. That might work out really well. We're at in Indiana. I mean, most of the places.
Anywhere.
We've got reports from Rockville and down by oh my gosh, Hoosier State Forest, that kind of thing.
Okay. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I had a report around Hoosier State Forest not too long ago, actually, and I do get a lot of reports throughout Indiana. So if you want to send your group information or your in contact.
Absolutely,
we'll hook you right up.
Absolutely, I'm sure we will do that. I mean, like I said when we talked before, I know you have other books, one on aliens specifically, right? And right, the next one, the one we're going to be talking about tonight, I assume this is your newest book, Winged Cryptids, right?
Yeah, that was released in April.
That was in April. Okay, so it's kind of it's pretty much brand new then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And as I said before, my wife and my son and myself have had experiences separately with that same type of thing here in Indiana. As a matter of fact, not too far from where we live.
Right.
So that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Well, I tell you, Indiana is a pretty big hotspot for winged beings in general. The flying cryptids, the flying humanoid sightings that have been going on in and around Chicago, we've received a lot of reports from Indiana as well.
Right. Now, what do you think about that? Now, I big fan of Mothman. I love the place. I mean, we did go when we could with the Ames boys from Mountain Monsters to Point Pleasant to set up for the Mothman Festival, right? Okay, that's wonderful. Do you consider that alien, or do you consider that just a cryptid? I mean, I know there's a blurry line there with Bigfoot and Mothman and all the cryptids and aliens and everything. What do you think?
I think the winged humanoids in general are some type of interdimensional entity of some type. I think there's summoned being. The entity that was documented in Point Pleasant in 66 and 67, and there's still sections around there. I believe it was a summoned being. I think that was something that was summoned, an entity that was summoned from another reality, from a strong indigenous spirit in the area, which I think is still there.
Do you think it was? You think it was Native American drawn?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Called to be a guardian or a sentry of some type. There has been all kinds of thoughts about Native American sentries and guardian spirits, and I believe that's what this was. And for what's going on in Chicago more recently, I mean, the description is not that of what people saw in Point Pleasant. It's a different type of entity.
Right.
It's more of a gargoyle-like entity.
Right, exactly.
But I think it very well could be a summoned being, but I do believe there are more than one as well. I think for whatever reason, how they are coming through or why they are coming through is just something we haven't been able to explain at this point.
Right. Now, it's been, we have rural Indiana Paranormal. We do have, that's where this show started. I'm a skeptic, and I'm of the opinion that it's like a lot of hysteria that went on back there at Point Pleasant, and I think, I'm just going to say it, I think, there are some big owls out there. I mean, I've seen them myself. I used to be a security guard at a park. You got 6-foot wingspan, you know what I mean? And those are scary if you don't know what you're looking at, right? They come at you out of nowhere and then they're gone. So I'm just wondering, in my mind, I think maybe some of these sightings, it might be as simple as that, You know what I mean?
There's a possibility. I mean, some of the sightings that were reported to us in and around Chicago, we do believe were actual birds, large birds of some type.
Right.
But there have been some distinct differences between what we have been getting, for the most part, and the shape of a large migratory bird.
Right. Now, I come from Arkansas, and not too far from the Louisiana border. Spent a lot of time in the swampy areas and that kind of thing. And I've seen some weird things, and I've seen some cranes that you would swear were pterodactyls. You know what I mean? When you just see them real quick. The wing shape and everything, yeah. I don't know. That's... Anyway. Well, have you yourself ever had any personal encounters?
Yeah, I had an experience back in 1988.
Okay. Like to hear about that.
Yeah, this was in the fall of 1988. I had met up with a friend of mine who I used to grow up with. I was living in Baltimore at the time.
Right. And
he and I grew up in an area around Gettysburg called Hanover. It was Hanover, Pennsylvania. There was, and we were in Boy Scouts together. So, we knew each other in Boy Scouts. So, at the time, we happened to run into each other in Baltimore. He was at a meeting or some type of, I don't know, conference or something for Boy Scouts. Because he's a scoutmaster. So, we met, we saw each other, we had some lunch, started talking, and he knew about my paranormal investigations. I started when I was really young, actually. I spent a lot of time on the Gettysburg battlefield. He and I used to actually spend time on the battlefield ourselves.
Right.
So he was aware of some of the stuff I had been involved with for years.
Well, that right there is going to bring up a whole new set of questions, but go ahead, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So he asked me if I wouldn't mind coming up to Camp Conawaga, which is where this has been going on, and looking around with him and another friend of his, because was going on, there were several encounters or hearing of a screaming sound coming from the woods, and it was spooking some of the scout troops.
Right.
And they were leaving, and they didn't know what was going on. So he didn't know if it was paranormal or natural, but he wanted to have me come along. So I went ahead and went. So the next weekend we met up there, And we set up camp in the woods right along the Conewago Creek.
Okay.
And actually, we set everything up. Everything was pretty quiet the first night, nothing going on. During the second day, we did a lot of hiking in through the woods in the area. We were out about 6 or 7 hours. We got back, started making dinner, and we sat around most of the evening doing nothing but talking. And about 11 o'clock that night, we were sitting around the campfire. We heard this god-awful screaming sound.
Okay.
And at the time, I couldn't really get a sense of what it was. I thought it could have been an owl or some other animal. It's an area that has a lot of wildlife. So we heard it, talked about it a bit, then, just waited to see if anything else happened. And, so we sat there about another hour and a half, 2 hours. I got up and started walking around, stretching my legs.
Yeah.
About 1 in the morning.
Right.
And I just thought, something just doesn't feel right. So I went back to the guy and said, look, let's go up the trail a bit and see if we find anything, see if we see anything. So we all got our flashlights, walked up the trail maybe 50 foot away from the campsite, and something was standing in the creek.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And dark figure. It was. We had a lot of moonlight that night. We could tell it was a dark figure standing there in the shallow creek.
Right. Your eyes do adjust. Yeah. Your eyes adjust to the darkness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw these red eyes.
Oh,
and
man.
this dark figure, about 6 foot in height. And by the time we got our flashlights on this thing, it suddenly jettisoned itself straight up in the air. We actually heard a whooshing sound.
Up in the air, no kidding.
Yeah, and when it got up there to a certain height, it started screaming and it started flying away.
Wow.
So we don't know what we saw. We ran back to the campsite. Those guys were shook. I guess we were all shocked.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mentioned, he said,
yeah.
if you happen to notice anything on its back, and I did. I noticed there had some type of structure on its back. I thought it may be wings, but actually never unfurled the wings. And it never spread them out.
Just straight up.
So,
wow.
It just jettisoned itself without any aid of the wings.
Wow.
So, the rest of the night was uneventful. Those guys were scared, so they slept up at the administration building. I actually wanted to stay and see what it was, but nothing else ever happened.
Yeah, it's already gone by that time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that area of the Conewago Creek has actually had several sightings in years since, and I've received 5 other sightings reports. Last one about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And there have been other incidents at the campground. So, and the funny thing about it, that sighting I had, the description is very similar to what people are seeing in Chicago.
Okay. What were the features? I mean,
well, the features itself was this thing we saw was tall and thin and dark.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't see the wings. We saw some type of structures in the back, and it definitely had the bright red eyes.
Okay.
It's humanoid in stature, and that's pretty well what people in Chicago are describing. But those who are able to see the wings say the wingspan runs anywhere from 10 to 15 foot.
Right.
Total span.
Right.
And most of them have the red eyes, but the wing shape is for the most part either bat-like or gargoyle-like.
Right. Now, how did you see the eyes? I mean, eye shine. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see that unless you have a flashlight.
Yeah, this was it was projecting light itself.
So it was coming from
right away.
Okay, from that. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, it really is. But like you say, what you think you saw, like the people in Chicago say they see, and I'm sure there's other places that see the same thing, same kind of thing.
Oh yeah, we've had reports. I've had reports all over the
and they're bat winged, basically, right? Which is exactly.
I'd say 95% of what I receive had that bat-like membrane wing. Yeah.
Right. Now that's exactly what I saw. Not more than 3 miles from where I live. We live way out in the sticks. It's old strip pit, right? Now, I was coming home, actually, from doing a show one evening, not too long ago, and directly in front of me shut, I don't know what it was. It was brown. It looked like leather, but it was big, and it had bat wings. You know what I mean? And it was followed by 3 smaller ones. And I couldn't focus on it. It was too quick. It was too fast, and it was gone. Very weird.
Yeah, these sightings are fleeting sightings, and by the time the people are done being shocked by seeing something like this,
right,
and there's no time to get a photograph of it, this thing is gone. I mean, and that's what happens. And people who have seen this thing actually standing or being right in front of them, I think this being has the ability to kind of, I don't know, if it's ESP or some type of psychic ability,
right,
to render them helpless, basically.
Right.
We've had people lose the feeling of their legs, fall to the ground.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen with me, because, I mean, I was driving and it was like 10 feet in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amazing. But it was brown. It really was. It was brown. And I swear...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things run... We do have had some dark brown colored beings as well. So, but for the most part, it's usually a black, sometimes shiny black body.
Right. Let me go ahead and try to give Michelle a call. I'd like to have her chime in, and she can tell us her experiences that she had with this thing, with what she saw, anyway. And I'm clicking the wrong button, of course. Well, give me a moment. Jeez. But, yeah, as we talked about before, we would love to get some info from you. If you have sightings around the area that we could go check out, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
That would be great. If you give me just one moment here. I seem to... Okay. We're going to try to get her in. Here we go. Well, we're waiting. Okay, I think I might have her here in just a moment. Well, you hear that, right? Isn't that great? Hello? Hello? Well, no.
Hello, can you hear me?
There she is. All right. Hi, Michelle. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Can you hear me? Okay, I guess you have a delay. We live out in the sticks, and she's at home right now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Michelle, this is Lon Strickler.
How you doing, Michelle?
Hey, Lon, how you doing?
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. We were just talking about my experience that I had with what I told you guys about the just really large, brown, leather-looking creature that flew in front of my truck on the way home one night not too long ago. And I thought I would call you up and have you relate your story that you and Brandon, my son, hello Brandon, had a little while back. Hello?
Yeah, so we were just on the outskirts here. Hello?
Hello, come on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting it, come on.
I was trying to. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear Lon?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we were driving on the outskirts of Terre Haute heading into town, and on the outskirts there's still a lot of trees, and so there was some really thick areas with a lot of trees, and all of a sudden there was something, and I think it caught Brandon's eye first. I think he saw it and pointed it out to me, and I looked up. I really wish I would have pulled over, but you just don't think about these things. I'm just driving down the road, and so I look up, and we saw this thing that was flying up in the sky. It was mainly gray. It had a large wingspan, and Brandon was focusing in on the head. I was focusing in on the feet. There were like these big feet that were dangling down as it was flying, and I just kept thinking about how weird those feet looked. And Brandon was focusing on the head, and he said that what did you say it looked like, Brand? A bat. He said it kind of looked like a bat head. We both kind of compared it to some type of gargoyle-looking thing.
There you go. See what I mean?
What were you going to say, Brand? Yeah, it was, there was another color, but neither of us really can remember what it was. It was mainly gray with a really large wingspan.
Right. Now, see, what you had talked about...
And then it just,
What you had talked about in Chicago, Lon, people saying it looked more like a gargoyle. That's what they're saying,
Well, and we've had sightings in Indiana as well. You said it was near Terre Haute. The closest we've had to that area that we know of right now was Indianapolis, right by the airport.
Right.
We've had 2 sightings near Muncie, and there was another one near Muncie earlier. And of course, up around Gary and Hammond, Indiana, we've had several sightings up there along the waterfront. So, I have no doubt that you had sightings down your area. They've been over in Illinois as well. So,
right. Now,
this thing seems to be very regional.
Right. What was it, Michelle, that you guys say the feet looked like?
Well, I was the one that noticed the feet. They just stuck out. They were just long and skinny, and they just kind of dangled. To me, it looked like they didn't belong on the creature at all. They were weird looking. They were just really long and skinny.
They didn't look like human feet. They, could you make out the toes? I can't remember now. Could you?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say if they look like human feet because, it was pretty high up in the sky.
Right.
But they were long and skinny, and they just kind of dangled as it was flying, like they were wobbling around, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. They just looked, they caught my eye because it just looked so odd.
Yeah, that sounds pretty familiar with some of the tracks we have found in the snow with some of these witness sightings in and around Chicago. In fact, it's a long, narrow foot. Maybe has 2 to 3 toes on it.
Right.
So that may be very similar to what Michelle saw.
Wow. I've seen all kinds of posts on Facebook and other places.
That's really cool.
I've seen all kinds of posts on Facebook and other places about the bat species from, what is it, horse-faced bat.
Right.
Right. They don't belong here, but that doesn't mean that someone couldn't have had one and it got loose. I mean, maybe that's an answer for that. I don't know. But, Michelle, while I got you on the phone here for a moment, and we were talking, and we do the Bigfoot, Tri-County Bigfoot thing. That's been, it's non-existent for quite a while, but Lon has said if we want to, he'll send us some info on different cases close to our area that we can go check out. What do you think about that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Well, there you go, Lon.
Yeah. Like I said, all I'll need is your team name and your contact email and stuff.
Right.
And I'll put you in there so we can get that after the show.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Or I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you, Michelle. And
right.
I mean, what do you think, man? Do you think that was a real thing, or just their minds playing tricks on them?
No, after the sighting reports we've received over the past 3 to 4 years, I have no doubt they may have seen something that may be similar to what other people are seeing, because and we've had historical reports too coming in during all this. People had seen something years ago and, held in until, it started to come out there that these things have been seen.
Right.
And then we're getting those stories as well. So, this seems to be a regional being, or at least it's showing itself regionally.
Right.
We've had sightings anywhere from Milwaukee down into central Illinois, central Indiana. So,
right.
Yeah, it's definitely something going on.
Okay. Well, I will when we get off when we close. I will send you our information and everything, and we'd appreciate that. That would be great. Michelle, Brandon, thank you guys for coming on. I know you got things to do, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye, Lon.
Bye.
All right. Well, man, there's so much more. I mean, again, the alien cryptid crossover. I know you said it's cross-dimensional, and some people say that they brought them here.
I think they could have been summoned somehow, and I'm not just saying that it was some type of spirit or something like that, or energy that summoned them.
Yeah,
there could be a myriad of reasons why. Our group. I think everybody in our group has their own theory, but
everybody has.
As for what I believe, I think there's some type of entity that is flesh and blood but able to cross over into our reality through some type of portal or gateway of some type.
Right. Now, there was the famous photo that's all over Facebook and the internet of Mothman on the bridge, right? On the bridge.
Well, I think that was a touch.
I think so too. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. The whole Harbinger theory.
Yeah.
That was started after the bridge collapsed at Point Pleasant. I think was, people. It was a tragedy, especially in a small area like that.
Absolutely, yes, it was very much so.
People had passed away. I think folks were looking for an excuse to explain why that happened, and since all this phenomenon was going on, it wasn't just the Mothman. I mean, there was, the Men in Black later on.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, UFO activity, paranormal activity. A lot of weird stuff going on.
That's why I said...
I think people use that as an excuse to explain it.
Exactly. I mean, that's not the only one, too. I mean, there was one down south here from us. A UFO was spotted, right?
Right.
I can't remember.
Southern Illinois. Right?
Yeah, and all of a sudden here comes this creature out, and there was even a tree that was removed, supposedly removed. Yeah, you remember that one, right? See, I have a hard time buying that kind of thing, I really do.
Well, there is a lot of conjecture when it comes to UFO activity, possible alien activity, and cryptids. I mean, evidence is few and far between. We're left with the anecdotal evidence,
right?
And it's a matter of trying to pick out those parts of the actual report or the testimony,
right,
that you believe is valid.
Well, there you go.
I can say the sightings we've had in Chicago, for the most part, these witnesses have been pretty forthcoming.
Yeah,
and they very rarely embellished on what they saw. They told us what they saw, and they stuck to that. And when you're talking about cryptid reports and cryptid investigation, you very rarely get that.
Right.
People do seem to embellish on what they thought they saw or what they saw.
Right.
And it's just a matter of separating the wheat from the chaff, I guess you can say.
Right. Well, of course, if you tell the story long enough, it'll become real to you, even though it may not be. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No kidding, man. Well, you can find Lon Strickler's books on where? On Amazon?
Well, they're on Amazon, and if you just go to Amazon and search my name, Lon Strickler, or Fans of Monsters, they'll come up. And on fansofmonsters.com, I do have the links there that you can click to get to the book site.
There you go. Okay, and you also have the website, the Arcane Radio.
Arcane Radio, it's every Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We do a live show. And then I do have a podcast that's everywhere. Basically.
That's everywhere. All of them, right? That's what we try. We try to do that too.
We also got a new YouTube channel.
Oh,
called Beyond Explanation. It's brand new. It's only been going for about 2 weeks.
Right.
And it is a video and audio representation of the cases that I have been given over the past 15 or so years. That would
be very cool. Go check that out, man. And you're a blogger, administrator at Phantoms and Monsters, of course, right?
Yep.
All right. And, that is so cool. We want to do YouTube videos so bad, but unfortunately, we left the radio station we were at, and I'm set up in my office right now. That's why I'm calling you on a soft phone and all this kind of thing. But that would be so wonderful. And I just want to say we're about out of time, but I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much, Lon Strickler, and we will have you back on if you agree.
Oh, sounds good. And like I said, I'll get the information for you. You can become an affiliate group with Fans of Monster Sports and Research.
Absolutely.
We get reports in your area. We will definitely send it over to you.
We are absolutely in. Thank you very much, sir. And we will talk to you. Probably I'll send you an email tomorrow, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening. I am Sammy Terry, and you're listening to The Dead Zone.
Your source for everything paranormal, Para X.
Hey, this is Lee. If you missed tonight's show or any other show, you can always check them out in the archives on the Para X Radio Network, or you can go to our website and click on any of your favorite apps.
He's the man. He's a myth. He's almost a mystery. He's an icon. The one, the only, Bob Damaris. Bob, how you doing this weekend? Doing great, guys. How about you?
we're doing wonderful.
Hey, we're doing better than we were yesterday.
Yeah, well, dragging ass a little bit.
You were one of the only people who had said that at a convention on a Sunday.
Dead Zone WDZRDB Worldwide.
Millions of people are affected by the Para-X bug.
I realize that it is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life and long into the afterlife as well.
If you have the Para-X bug, there is hope.
With a nightly visit to the Para-X website and intensive past life regression therapy, I can control it.
Even with the Para-X bug, I can still lead an active life of radio show hosting, paranormal investigating, evidence checking, attending conferences, book writing, keeping up with the latest technology, and still keep my 40-hour-a-week day job.
If you think that you have the Para-X bug or know someone who might, visit para-x.com. And remember, you are not alone.
I am not alone.
I am not alone.
The Para-X bug may cause the urge to chase shadow people, visit exotic haunted locations, adopt a pugwudgie, or spend all of your time trying to figure out the laws and principles of paranormal investigation. Listening to Para-X may increase these effects.
Sudden visions of full-body apparitions, or feeling the covers being pulled off you in the middle of the night by unseen hands, may also be signs of exposure to the Para-X bug.
The use of Para-X may be habit-forming, and an overwhelming desire to provoke spirits may be a serious side effect. If these symptoms last more than 4 hours, you should quickly consult a trusted witch and have her cast a "What the hell are you thinking?" spell on you. If symptoms persist, please contact the Para-X Radio Network Homeland Security Team for further instructions.
The Para-X bug may cause urges for late-night speaking with spirits and ghosts. Listening to Para-X may increase these effects. Overwhelming desire to try provoking a spirit may be a serious side effect. Those with Para-X bug effects lasting more than 4 hours should consult Para-X or see a professional. Sudden outbursts at the mention of orbs may be a sign of exposure to the Para-X bug. Use of Para-X may be habit-forming. Use caution when engaging in Para-X chat.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para-X.
Hey, this is Lee. If you missed tonight's show or any other show, you can always check them out in the archives on the Para-X Radio Network, or you can go to our website and click on any of your favorite apps.
If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends.
This is the Dead Zone Paranormal Radio Show.
Thanks for listening.